Today on Public Eye News, where the final round of Michigan Spark grants will disperse, and later, the latest on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
Melissa Santur will have a look back at last night's NHL Open in your sports recap, and Brad Seaborg will have your weather update. I'm Beck Burley.
And I'm Reed Hall, and this is Public Eye News. Prosecutors are recommending a 3-month prison sentence for former Michigan Governor candidate Ryan Kelly following his involvement in the 2021 Capitol riots. Kelly, who lost the Michigan primary to commentator Tudor Dixon, pled guilty to the misdemeanor charge of illegally entering a restricted area back in July. He is scheduled for his next court appearance in D.C. next week, where prosecutors will recommend a 3-month prison sentence. In a court filing, prosecutors said that Kelly denied any wrongdoing on social media and during the riot gestured for other rioters behind him to move toward stairs leading up to the building. Kelly's defense attorney, Gary Springstead, said the probation is an appropriate response to Kelly's first time facing criminal charges. And across the United States, high school students' ACT scores have fallen to their lowest in 30 years. The average ACT composite score for U.S. students was 19.5 out of 36, while last year the average score was 19.8. The average scores in reading, science, and math all were well below ACT organization set standards they say students must reach to have a high probability of success in their first year at college. The average score in English was just above the benchmark, but still declined compared to last year. In the past few years, many universities have made standardized testing optional in application processes, and many experts don't think testing numbers and scores will ever return to pre-pandemic level as test-optional application policies become standard.
And a series of Michigan Spark grants with a total of $22 million will help 31 communities hardest hit by COVID-19. These funds were sourced by the American Rescue Plan Act. In Houghton County, Chassell Township will be awarded $495,000 for the renovation of Chassell Centennial Park. Down in Schoolcraft County, $1.2 million will be awarded to work on Central Park in Manistique and to renovate Muller Township Park. Right here in Marquette County, 3 grants will be awarded for a total of $2.3 million for the creation of a recreational trailhead in the city of Marquette, a revival of K.I. Sawyer LTL Park, and renovations of Draver Park in Powell Township. And in Lansing, House Bill 4752 was signed into law, allowing retired educators to continue to receive their pensions while filling temporary vacancies in local school districts. This law eliminates the financial obstacle that retired educators had previously faced when they were wanting to help out their districts on a local basis. They are now able to work as teachers, substitute teachers, or athletic and academic coaches, which will relieve some of the stress that the districts may have faced. The retirees will continue to receive their pension and health care benefits as long as they wait 6 months before taking a new position, earn $15,000 or less in a calendar year. And Joe Biden was in Kenosha, Wisconsin, visiting the Menominee tribe. WFRV's Samantha Peters was there. Take a look. Petters.
First Lady Jill Biden visited the Menominee Indian Tribe of Wisconsin to highlight the Biden administration's support for Native communities and partnerships with tribal nations. First Lady Jill Biden also toured the Menominee Tribal Enterprises Sawmill to learn about the Menominee Tribe's sustainable forest management.
Today, I saw how the Menominee people and the U.S. Department of Agriculture are working together to bring federal resources here so that the tribe can continue to sustainably manage the forest using knowledge that was passed down from generation to generation.
The First Lady stopped at the College of Menominee Nation, where she spoke with students pursuing careers in sustainability. To conclude her tour, the First Lady returned to the Menominee Casino and Convention Center for the college's Women's Empowerment Summit. There, the First Lady thanked the Menominee tribe for teaching her about their approach to community, education, and sustainable development. She also addressed the Biden administration's commitment to work with the Native tribes to manage the land and water across the country.
He's honoring the nation-to-nation relationship, making sure all parts of his administration are consulting with tribes.
In Kashina, Samantha Petters, Local 5 News.
Not going to touch that dial. We'll be right back with your weather and national news after this break.
On America Outdoors, for most Americans, when it's freezing outside, the natural choice is to hunker down inside. You know, avoid the elements. But this is Maine. People are outside, working, playing, thriving. really, what is it about winter in Maine that gets people to go outdoors? To find out, I'm willing to do some shivering.
Tonight at 8 on WNMU-TV.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Brad Seaborg, and I'll be taking you through our weather report. Starting off looking behind me at our roof cam here, it's been raining on and off all day on campus, and we've still got some pretty heavy cloud cover here in the Academic Mall. Taking a look around the UP, a lot of cloud cover starting off in Houghton at 52 degrees with a little bit of sun peeking out, 50 in Ironwood, 52 in Iron Mountain, 54 in Menominee, 55 in Escanaba. Over on the east end of the UP, Manistee 53 and cloudy, big sunshine in Sault Ste. Marie, and back in Marquette, it is 49 and partly cloudy. Taking a look at the current conditions in Marquette, partly cloudy, temperature 49, winds out of the south at 11 miles an hour, and barometric pressure 29.82 inches and steady. Looking at tonight, it'll still be cloudy, low of 42, winds out of the north at 6 miles an hour. And for tomorrow, partly cloudy, high of 52, low of 43, and winds out of the northeast at 10 miles an hour. Looking ahead towards this weekend, a lot of rain in the forecast, high of 51 and rainy, low of 47. Saturday, more rain, high of 49, low of 45. And on Sunday, it'll dry off a little bit, high of 48 and a low of 44. That's all I've got for weather. Back to Reed at the news desk for our national news.
Thank you, Bradley, for that weather update. Taking a look at our national news, the Coast Guard has recovered what are presumed to be more human remains from the submersible that imploded last June on its way to explore the wreck of the Titanic. The recovery and transfer of remaining parts was completed last Wednesday. That included the intact aft titanium end cap of the 22-foot vessel. The presumed human remains were carefully extracted from these remaining parts and transported for analysis by U.S. medical professionals. This mission was a follow-up to initial recovery operations on the ocean floor, roughly 1,600 feet away from the Titanic. The Marine Board of Investigation plans to continue analysis and witness interviews ahead of a public hearing on the tragedy. OceanGate, the operator of the vessel, has since gone out of business. And a new indictment has been filed against U.S. Representative George Santos, claiming he stole the identities of his campaign donors and charged over $44,000 to their credit cards, and then wired some of that money into his own personal bank account. The new 23-count indictment filed on Tuesday replaces one filed back in May, charging him with embezzlement of campaign funds and lying to Congress about his wealth. In the updated indictment, Santos is also accused of falsely reporting to the Federal Elections Commission that he had loaned his campaign $500,000 when Santos had less than $8,000 in the bank. The new charges, in addition to his older charges, deepen the legal peril for Santos, who will likely face a lengthy prison sentence if convicted. Santos is yet to comment on this new indictment after reporters pressed for questions following his exit from a 2-hour Republican conference at the U.S. Capitol. Santos has also resisted all calls to resign and insists he intends to run for re-election next year. And the brutality of Hamas's surprise attack on Israel Saturday is coming into clear focus as the fighting intensifies. More than 1,000 people on each side have been killed in the last 5 days. A warning to viewers, some images in this report are graphic. Bradley Blackburn has the latest from the United Nations.
New horrors are emerging from the communities where Hamas went on a bloody killing spree. After finally wresting back control of Kfar Aza kibbutz, a small farming community, Israeli security forces say terrorists took brutality to a new level, decapitating children, including babies. Karen Flash, who survived the kibbutz attack along with her husband and baby, says she is numb. In Gaza Wednesday, Israel's unrelenting airstrikes on suspected Hamas targets continued, demolishing entire neighborhoods. Israel has cut off the entry of food, water, fuel, and medicine into the territory, making the situation dire for the more than 2 million Palestinians who live there. The UN says more than 250,000 people in Gaza have fled their homes, and it expects that number to climb as fighting continues. Israel has mobilized hundreds of thousands of military reservists, making it appear increasingly likely that it will launch a ground invasion. Israel is also sending tanks to its border with Lebanon. On Tuesday, President Biden pledged support for Israel. The first U.S. shipment of weapons has already arrived, and defense officials say a small group of U.S. Special Forces is on the ground to help with planning and intelligence. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Hello and welcome back. After this break, Melissa will have your weather or your sports update. Stay tuned.
On Nova, ancient Earth.
People thought it was an outrageous idea.
The planet completely encased in ice.
Some of the deepest, most intense cold Earth has ever experienced.
Life survived events that scientists previously thought were unsurvivable.
But for life to flourish again, we would need some kind of drastic change.
Frozen on Nova.
Tonight at 9 o'clock on WNMU-TV.
Welcome back. I'm Melissa Santour here with your sports update. NMU Swim and Dive received 3 out of 4 GLIAC Weekly Awards. Sophomore Leo Knowles set a pool record with a 50-yard freestyle time of 20.49 seconds and won multiple events, earning Men's Swimmer of the Week. Freshman Annika Wright swept her events, claiming gold in all 4, earning Women's Swimmer of the Week. And junior Abby Harnd secured gold in 3 out of her 4 dives, as well as a silver medal, receiving Women's Diver of the Week. Moving over into everyone's favorite, hockey. The Pittsburgh Penguins hosted the Chicago Blackhawks last night, where first pick Connor Bedard earned his first NHL point with an assist on goal for Ryan Donato. Chicago ended up turning the score around and won 4-2. Over in Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena, the Golden Knights crushed the Seattle Kraken with a final score of 4-1. Knights goalie Aiden Hill pushed out 32 saves for the team. And in Tampa Bay, the Lightning beat the Nashville Predators 5-3, with Nicholas Paul and Nikita Kucherov each earning 2 goals in their season opening game. Swinging it over to the MLB, the Baltimore Orioles, after an impressive regular season with 101 wins, experienced their first sweep in the 2023 AL Division Series against the Texas Rangers. Rookie shortstop Gunnar Henderson faced a 7-1 loss in the series. Despite maintaining a streak of 91 series without being swept in the regular season, the postseason defeat was disheartening for the team. Manager Brandon Hyde emphasized the pain of this loss, but expressed determination to bounce back and regroup for the upcoming season. In the AL Division Series, the Orioles faced deficits of 6 and 7 runs in the early innings of the game. Now back to the desk with some Fat Bear News Week.
Thank you, Melissa, for that sports update. Seems like a fun night last night for opening night of hockey. Beck, I heard we have one final story for Fat Bear Week.
That's right. Well, I'm actually quite excited to reveal the winner of this event. It's really something special. Well, with our continued coverage of Fat Bear Week coming to its close, as the final at Katmai National Park took place yesterday, the bracket, which the National Park Service puts on annually to raise awareness for Alaskan conservation, saw the final day of voting come between finalists 32 Chunk and 128 Grazer. Grazer won by a landslide with a whopping final of 108,321 votes, and Chunk with 23,134 votes. Congratulations, Grazer, and go Bears. Well, I don't think it's fair just to give Fat Bear Week one winner. You know, Grazer won by a landslide, but I think they're all winners in our hearts.
I very much agree. It was cool to see that Grazer won, though. Did you happen to fill out a bracket by chance?
I missed that opportunity, unfortunately.
See, I did, but my bear got bounced in the first round, so.
Do you remember who your bear was?
It was an older bear. I do remember that much. He has a couple championships under his belt in previous years, but Grazer took it home this year, and we have to be proud of her, of course.
It was no contest. Like, she landslide, 108,000 votes.
It's surprising.
Over Chunk.
It really is surprising that many people voted for her and not Chunk.
Oh, yeah.
But it seems to be all the time we have in Public Eye News. I'm Reed Hall.
I'm Beck Burley.
We'll see you tomorrow.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.
Thanks for hanging out with us here at Public Eye News today. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube down below to never miss a story, and check us out on Instagram at NMU-Penn.